It's your man again, back again. Look, man, y'all see it above, man. Today we got Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler 1. Now, if you are a UFC fan and you're a fan of the Diaz brothers, I'm gonna need you to keep it all the way 100 with yourself. Who do you think is the better Diaz brother? I know a lot of you are gonna say Nate Diaz is the best out of him and Nick, but me, I'm not gonna say that because I believe Nick is a superior fighter. Also, Nick is the older brother, which doesn't mean nothing. The younger brother could definitely be better, but that's not the case here, in my opinion. Um, Now as far as like submissions and stuff, yeah, I get at the Nate for sure. I get at the Nate, but Nick, anybody who knows Nick Diaz and you've seen his fights when he's fought complete legends like GSP and all these boys, BJ Penn, you know Nick Diaz got them. He got them thumpers. Nick Diaz got them hands. I advise you after you if you're new to this, watching this, go check out Nick Diaz versus GSP. Watch that entire fight. Look at GSP's face after that fight. Even though, and look how GSP won that fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we like to crap on John Jones for all this other stuff, the steroids, blah blah blah, all kind of stuff. It's like, bro, y'all gotta understand. If you've been fighting for so long and none of your fights are competitive, does that say more about you or the competition? Because John Jones was basically a teenager. Well, not even a teenager, but young adult. And he was whipping grown men as soon as he came into the UFC. Legends since he arrived. He's fought nothing but legends. He's always wanted to test himself. And it's no knock on Khabib, because Khabib is a terrific fighter. I mean, his ground game is... see, I don't think there's anybody that's better than him, honestly, in his ground game. In the lightweight division. Now, let's say Khabib goes up to welterweight. Well, one could argue Usman might give him a tough time. One could argue Covington might give him a tough time. One could argue a Tyron Woodley in his prime could definitely give him a tough time. These are arguments to be made about Khabib, because we've only seen him down at that one weight. And anybody knows Khabib knows the dude walks around at like 2-something. So he could have easily went to welterweight after being so dominant in the lightweight division. And despite his dominance in the lightweight division, I mean, you have to go back and look at all the guys who he's fought. Khabib has fought a lot of no names. This is no knock on Khabib's legacy. I'm not here to talk trash about Khabib. Like I said, I actually like Khabib. I don't have any problems with Khabib. It's just, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit there and be, oh yeah, you should be the GOAT. Like, I'm not calling him the GOAT because of that. And now, because we haven't seen John Jones actually fight in the heavyweight division yet, we are quick to dismiss everything that he's done to this point. But as soon as he goes to the heavyweight division and then he starts winning, it's gonna be, oh yeah, John, blah blah blah, no, it's still the steroids. Blah, blah. It's always gonna, that's the thing. It's always gonna be something. That's why some of these athletes, even though they talk a lot on Twitter, blah blah blah, I'm pretty sure none of them, they're losing sleep over any of this stuff, because at the end of the day, it's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be something. Like it really is. People are a trip. But like I said though, he's had a hell of a career. I still feel like he retired too young. I would have loved to see a Khabib versus Usman fight. Usman was even calling for that fight at one point. He said he would love to fight Khabib. I would love to see that fight, especially with with his new stand up. I'm sorry, I don't see Khabib winning that fight. I really don't. Now that Kobe fight, I don't know. I feel like that fight it would definitely be more interesting. But Kobe, don't get even though he talks all that trash, Kobe can definitely back it up. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. I feel like that one could go either way. I don't know. I don't know. Khabib might beat Kobe, but Usman, I'm not. No, I'm not certain he'll beat Usman. Now T Wood, prime T Wood. Now I'm not talking about the T Wood that's lost, 15 straight rounds. I'm talking about the T Wood that was dominant over Darren Till. I'm talking about the T Wood that went 10 rounds with Wonder Boy. I'm talking about that T Wood, the T Wood who knocked out what's his name, Thompson. I'm talking about that T Wood. You know what I'm saying? Look. Oh, not Thompson. My bad, y'all. I mean, Josh. Josh. Yeah. My bad. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, like, I just think that would be very interesting. I'm really sad Khabib retired as early as he did. I really am. I feel like Khabib definitely could have had some exciting fights. And the whole Conor thing, see, I'm actually a fan of Conor. So, Conor was definitely outmatched in that Khabib fight. Definitely was. But I feel like that had more to do with ring rust than his actual skill and his actual will to get in there and fight. When you've got $100 million now to your bank account, it's really different. When you sleeping on Versace sheets, than when you get trying to get out the mud, it's very different. It's not to say that he wasn't hungry anymore. It's just that you could tell Khabib wanted that more, and he showed it. But in saying that, Conor definitely he held his own for a little bit. For somebody who is so supposedly terrible on the ground, it took 4 rounds for Khabib to even get a position where he was able to submit him. Y'all just think about that for a minute. And Conor was still kind of constantly getting up, man. Even when he was winded, like that's why I said it's different. Like Conor, he talks all that trash too, but he goes in there, man. That's one thing I've always respected about Conor. He goes in there and fight. Now Conor, recently he's been kind of going off the rails a little bit. I don't agree with all the wife talk and stuff like that, but I mean, yeah, Lord mercy, hey. He's a great promoter too, man. That's all he's doing. He's building up that fourth fight with him and Poirier. But come on, lead the fans out of this and stuff like. That's when when I see you on the street talk, that's what that is. Nah, but for real though, man. Like all these scenarios. That's why I like the UFC, man. I like the UFC more than I like boxing nowadays because we actually get the matchups that we want to see. We as fans, we want to see. The UFC gives that to us. Boxing has robbed us of fights that we've deserved for years. Or the fights the fans want. They've robbed us. Period. Like it's like, but you look at their purses, they bringing in they getting paid way more than these UFC fighters. That's because boxers actually have a union though. I'm not even gonna get into that talk, but yeah, UFC fighters are definitely underpaid for them to be on the same. Now they wanted them to be on the same level as NBA players, MLB players, all these major sports leagues. The UFC is now considered one, but they don't pay nearly the amount of money that these guys are getting. For these guys, they train, they get hurt. It's like there's no liability for these guys, man. It's very difficult to watch. It's hard to watch sometimes. It really is. It's just kind of sad sometimes too, man. When somebody wins a fight and you think that's gonna be their triumphant moment to get on the mic and then tell you they're broke and all their money went to the camp and then all this other stuff and they can barely pay for. It's like dang, but I mean, at the end of the day, though, they chose to do this, but still, though, the UFC could definitely treat their fighters better. But I feel like the fighters, they've been putting it in the UFC's hands for too long. Like, how can you guys not get a table and when you all sit down? Even though I know most of you don't like each other, but you should at least try to help each other get paid, man. You know. But look, I've been talking too much, man. Let's go ahead and get into this Nick Diaz, man. Like I said, in my opinion, he is the better fighter out of the Diaz brothers. Nick got that ground game though, but that's the thing. Nick is that dude. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Lawler and Diaz welterweights are underway.
Oh boy, Nick.
Will Diaz try to work the legs of Robbie Lawler?
Another word from Cesar Gracie's camp is that Nick Diaz has
leading with the right jab.
Diaz, nice jab.
And
Diaz
jab again.
big right hand. Diaz is rocked. Diaz is rocked.
Does Diaz really want to mess with fire here? Does he really want to go toe-to-toe with Robbie Lawler?
You know, like we said, Diaz has those fights with Jeremy Jackson under his belt, and he's very confident fighting a tough.
First of 3 5-minute rounds. Welterweights, Lawler and Diaz. Content to go toe-to-toe thus far. This one has sudden ending written all over it.
Wow, I just never expected this.
Yeah, Nick is way worse than Nate with the taunting, man. God dang. I just. Oh, he did it with the stop the slap. Oh! Oh! Now they just clenched up, man. Come on.
Try to work the legs. Remember, Spratt worked the legs in Robbie's only mixed martial arts loss.
The thing is, does Nick Diaz stand in front of Robbie Lawler and play with danger?
What's with the hands up there? What's with the hands?
Faking him out, just playing with him. The problem is if Robbie connects, Robbie can put you to sleep. I mean, you know, you think you've got him, you don't think he's dangerous, you think you're kicking his ass, but if he rocks you like here...
Yep. A high kick. Diaz slipped and Robbie closed in. Diaz slipped and Robbie closed in.
Them boys fight.
Robbie is always dangerous. There is never say die in this guy.
These are not boxing gloves in which they are wearing. Keep that in mind.
Very good point. These are 4-ounce baby gloves.
Taking the center of the ring and moving in.
Nice combination. Big right hand.
Them boys throwing.
Right is answered. Lawler tried with the combination again. Just missed with the right uppercut.
But Nick Diaz is moving away pretty nice. Feinted him.
That boy was talking, boy. Oh, doop doop.
Boom.
That
Robbie
boy
Lawler
was throwing.
and he comes right back. You see it again?
Robbie, ruthless. Robbie
Let's
Lawler.
go ahead and get it. Let's get it.
Unbelievable. I can't believe this fight hasn't gone to the ground yet. I've never
Diaz, bro, is just is hilarious, bro.
comes right. Oh, nice body shot by Robbie Lawler.
But
Oh, oh, whoa, oh, whoa. God damn.
Robbie doesn't want to accept it. He doesn't want to accept it, but it is over. Unbelievable.
God. Look. Look, man. I'm a fan of the Diaz bros. They are hilarious, bro. And their fights, all their fights are entertaining. It don't matter who they fighting. All their fights are gonna be entertaining. So when Robbie and Nick meet in a couple more weeks at UFC 266, we gonna see who got it right now. Robbie, I know he's been on kind of on the losing streak. It's very unfortunate to see. Kind of was just the same thing with legends like T Wood and all of them. Like it's sad when you like JDS. It's sad when you grew up with certain guys in like sports or anything, and just all of a sudden they're just on a downside in their career. It's like you kind of wish they stopped fighting a long time ago. But then again, you're such a fan, so you just want them to continue so they can get that triumph moment. But sometimes it just never comes, and unfortunately, for Robbie, I don't know. I feel like maybe Nick gets him again, but Robbie has a puncher's chance. That's one thing with Robbie. Guys like Robbie Lawler, Tyron Woodley, they got a puncher's chance. Everybody knows that. So I'm very intrigued to see this fight and how everything unfolds. Look, man, out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more competitive this time around because of the inactivity of Nick. But that being said, look, UFC 266, we can't wait. I'm gonna see you. You already know. Look, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, any suggestions. You already know. I like your boy. Look, we out. It's your man again.